afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and hello everyone, and welcome to a new edition of Africa Today. In the terms of Egypt's commitment to the existence in the African continent, a new groundbreaking study made by and launched by the Egyptian Agency of Partnership for Development made for more investment and more existence for the business and businessmen and private sectors to exist more and to make more investments and developmental projects in the African continent. This is what we're going to start with our initiative for today. Let's watch this report and come back to analyze this.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced on Tuesday that the Egyptian Agency of Partnership for Development has launched a pioneering study titled The Investment Map in the African Continent, which will support Egyptian companies seeking to expand into African markets. The study will help Egyptian businesses explore new markets across Africa and offer detailed insights into promising sectors such as agriculture, mining, construction, technology, renewable energy, and water resource management. It provides essential information about various African countries, including their investment laws and the national institutions responsible for regulating and attracting foreign investment. The Foreign Ministry's initiative forms part of its broader commitment to Africa, which seeks to expand market opportunities for Egyptian products, support Egyptian enterprises, and implement development projects across the continent. According to previous remarks by Foreign Minister Badr Abdel-Ati, Egypt's investments in Africa currently exceed $14 billion. During a meeting on May 18th with Masad Boulis, senior advisor to the U.S. President on Arab and Middle Eastern Affairs and senior advisor for Africa, Abdel-Ati highlighted Egypt's active role in supporting the continent. He emphasized the role of the Egyptian Export and Investment Guarantee Agency, which has a capital of up to $600 million. He noted that the government has allocated $100 million for development projects in the southern Nile Basin countries. In May, Hussam Heba, CEO of the General Authority for Investment and Free Zones, said the government is developing sustainable strategies to facilitate investment flows and trade across Africa. Additionally, integrated partnerships are being established to strengthen intra-African investment and commerce.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We still have on LTV International and our today's episode of Africa Today. And to shed more light about this groundbreaking new comprehensive study for investment in Africa, we are delighted to be joined over the phone by her ambassadress, Ambassadress Soad Shalaby, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Your Excellency, it's a great pleasure having you with us.
Thank you.
So, talking about the first ever comprehensive studying initiative titled The Investment Map in the African Continent, and searching and exploring new markets in Africa, as of course we are existing, private sector, public sector, of course, we are existing in the African continent long years ago. So, what do you think that this breaking ground initiative brings for new?
Well, of course, Egypt has a long history in investment in Africa, and there has been a new study that has been launched on the 10th of June. The study is focused on the investment map in the African continent, and this will support the Egyptian companies who seek to expand in the African market. So this study has been done by the Egyptian African Partnership for Africa, for Development in Africa, the Egyptian Agency for Partnership for Development, and this is in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The study is mainly for business people to explore new markets across Africa. And they offer details of insights in the different sectors: agriculture, mining, construction, technology, renewable energy, and water resource management.
Yes, such key sectors which the initiative really highlights, and as you mentioned, in agriculture, in renewable energy, and technology, and other sectors. How we can even approach more other African partners to such initiative?
Right now, the Egyptian investments in Africa exceed $14 billion. And this has been announced by Foreign Minister Abdel.
Yeah.
Of course, this study will encourage more, and it will expand market opportunities for Egyptian products. So this figure will be maybe doubled in a few years, because the Egyptian Export and Investment Guarantee Agency has a capital of up to 600 million, and they allocate 100 million only for development projects in the Southern Nile Basin countries, while it can direct more investments. Especially that Egyptian companies are encouraged, and the government is supporting them for sustainable strategy, sustainable development in the Southern African region. So that is why there has been encouragement to facilitate investment in Africa and trade across Africa also.
Yeah. When we talk about the investing or the investment map and the new sectors or new strategic sectors or really potential in the African continent, as really the African continent is the continent of opportunities. So the opportunities for the Egyptian investors in terms of the free trade area, and how the Egyptian companies in the public or private sector could get benefit from the regional agreement of the free trade area.
Over the next 5 years, there will be a lot of investments and a lot of opportunities in field of renewable energy, and also in green hydrogen.
Yeah.
So Egyptian companies will invest in wind, in solar energy, in a lot of potentials in sectors that have a lot of investments in the market, potentials in the market. So the competition is hard. It's between Egypt, China, and the United Arab Emirates and the United States, who are the biggest investors in Africa. But a lot of Egyptian companies have been working in Africa, especially in countries like Ethiopia, Swaziland, in countries, the Comesa region in the eastern and southern Africa. So there has been a lot of trade between 19 countries or 20 countries in the Comesa, and there have been many companies, like, for instance, I don't want to name them, but in the fields of technology, in the field of construction, in the field of banking, in the field of cables, There has been many countries, many Egyptian companies working in Nigeria, in Ethiopia, in Tanzania, in Kenya. In Tanzania, we have also built a dam in Tanzania. In Kenya, in Cote d'Ivoire, there are a lot of investments that have been supported by also El Nasr, important export company, who is working there, and also environmental investments in there are many banks that are supporting the investment landscape in environment, and that is why it is important that the private sector and the investment is being guaranteed by the banks, and the risks are minimized, so that the government backed projects prove easier, and also the government gives space for the private sector to invest in Africa in a secure environment.
Of course, the PP or the triple P, the public-private partnership, of course, it's really essential in this field. And as you mentioned, to be a backbone, the public sector to be a backbone for the private sector companies, and to support them, especially in the infrastructural projects. Of course, they need the full support of the public sector and the state sectors. So, yeah. Your ambassadors, when we talk about such first ever comprehensive study, when we talk about it and we talk about the Egyptian institutions and businessmen associations, how they could also get benefit out of this?
Well, there has to be mutual confidence, and there has to be reforms, and there has to be government guarantees and plans to subsidize companies who have labor costs, low labor costs, and increase the companies who have tried and who have invested already in Africa. They are given as an example. So Egyptian investors should take the lead for new sectors, and they have to expand in investing in raw materials, in natural resources, so that they can be able to manufacture goods like China does. You know, China expands in the field of raw materials.
They are expanding widely in Africa nowadays, especially after that trade war with the United States of America, really. And,
but the good opportunity is that Africa has a free trade agreement, and this will allow it for the business to capitalize on the strengths of each country to ensure the lowest production costs and the most exposure.
Yeah, and the low cost and workers as well.
Exactly.
So, yes, your ambassador is Soad Shalaby, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Many thanks for your insights and for being with us. And short break, and we'll be right away back.